Hey Anne, welcome to Diary 101 podcast. I am your host, Akakandelwa Kandepwe, also known as Aka. Today's guest is somebody I admire from afar and near. We have met a couple of times and it's such a joy to have her on the podcast. She was in the corporate world for more than 14 years and now she made a bold decision to start her own business. I think that when you get to come across her work, you'll be like, oh, okay, interesting. She's the founder of MySCAP Resource Centre Limited and MySCAP Academy, a social enterprise dedicated to serving financial literacy among women and young people in Zambia. Please welcome our guest today, Sandra. Hi, Sandra.
Hi, Aka. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's a joy. And you say a pleasure? For me, it's a joy. It's a joy to finally host you. I've been wanting to
finally.
do this. Finally.
Finally, I'm here. Yeah. Yeah. How are you?
I'm good. Well rested. So good. In a better space. And yeah, such a joy to be here and grateful that I get to do this every chance I get to do it. So yeah, so good. We have met a couple of times. I think the last time we met, we had an inside joke. I'm like, we had the inside joke of like, you remember that other accelerator program we're at? And I was like, I've actually had Sandra in my life for a while.
Somewhere in the room, yeah.
It's always, and that's why I said it's such a joy to host you, because I think even on your end, you know how much I have grown as an individual and how much my business is growing and evolving. And on my end, I look at the work that you do and I'm like, if Sandra is in front, it means I'm just behind the corner and she's opening the doors for me. Very important, very important. And it's so interesting when you look back to your life for the couple of years. Did you picture yourself where you are right now?
Wow. I would most probably no. Yeah. I never pictured myself doing what I'm doing today. If you knew me say 10 years ago or more than 6 years ago, you would have known I was your corporate accountant. My career has always been in finance, being in the background, supporting different organizations. And today, I found myself in the front line, which is something that I never thought I would be doing. I never thought I would be a sales person, an operations person, or someone who's training and coaching. But here I am. It's a really turnaround in terms of my career, what I imagined it would look like and what it is today. And I have, I think, slowly grown into this role and I'm really enjoying it. Yeah.
What led you to leave the corporate world? You left stability, or what might always seem like stability, the safer bet. If you climb that corporate ladder, by now you'd have been a director somewhere. Like, what led to that decision?
Yeah. Whoosh. I must say it wasn't a very easy decision to make. I was very close with my dad. He was my best friend. And me taking up the decision of leaving corporate life to say I'm stopping to start my own business was something that we really debated with him for quite a long time. Coming to the decision of saying I'm finally leaving the corporate world was not an easy one. It grew over time. It was not a decision that I made just from one day to the next, but it was something that was growing within me and to an extent that I reached the point of deciding to say I want to do something on my own. So this was because My work experience, I think I started working as early as 18. I think that's how I've managed to get to where I am with the more than a decade of work experience, because I started really young. Just getting out of high school, I started working with my dad. He was also an accountant. I was working for his accounting firm as a clerk. And from there, I also decided to take up my career in accountancy. So I was going to uni while working. So I had a lot of time to work and learn from different roles. I think if you look at my background, I grew from entry position of accountancy to the highest role, which is CFO for accountants. And once you get to CFO or finance director, there is no other growth in the career of finance. So for me, I felt I had reached the, the 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 highest level of my career, which is being a CFO. Though I didn't really work for quite long at CFO, it was only for like 3 years. But within that 3 years, I was like, oh wow, this is what it means to be a CFO of an organization or to be a finance director. And from that, I still wanted more. I still wanted more growth. I still wanted more challenging opportunities. And hence, I think with my last job, I told myself to say, I think I'm doing my last year. Once I'm done with this year, I want to try on something different. I want to try on something challenging. And I also didn't like the aspect the confinement that comes with being in a corporate role, whereby I think there's that I can't really explain, but once you're there in that corporate role, there's more of restriction or limitation to your growth or what you want to do. And naturally, I'm a person who likes to make her own decision. I like to be independent. I like to make decisions without the need of feeling like something is blocking me or someone standing in my way. So with that background, I realized I needed to be in a space where I could grow. I could try out things that I wanted without any restriction. And for me, that was, I think, the biggest push that made me decide to say, what if I tried getting out of this space and doing it on my own? And in 2020, when I decided to leave the corporate life, I was only 32. And I told my dad to say, I think I'm done. I want to start my own thing. And he says, oh, you are actually starting it too early and you beat me to it, because I retired at 37 and I thought I was young, but here you are, you've done it at 32. So it was a bit of a mix of a feeling to say, are you sure? Are you going to manage out there? And here I am. It's been over 5 years. This is my 60th year out of formal employment, and not a single day have I ever thought of going back. I must say, the first year of leaving, I had quite great opportunities that I never had while I was in employment. Companies, audit firms would reach out to me asking to offer me jobs, including financial institutions. But each time someone came to me and asked for my CV, I would get goosebumps. I would not want to take on that opportunity. It was a thing where I was like, am I getting back to that box? I felt like I was somehow boxed and I needed to be out there. So the offers came and I still said no. Even today, people say, can you take on a job? My answer is still no. But like you termed it, it's a place which gives you security. We are brought up to know that when your employment is secure, you have a secured future, you don't have to worry about finances. Yes, that's right. But the thing is, your security is sitting in someone else's hands. You don't know at what point they'll make a decision to let go of you or not. And for me, taking that bold step of resigning and leaving and getting to start my own thing was also built from the aspect that I had this trend within my career where I never stayed for more than 2 years in an organization. Within 2 years, getting to the third year, I would always be changing and switching jobs, aspiring for something challenging and great. I think it's from that drive that made it very easy for me to jump out from corporate life and get into being a full-time entrepreneur. And since I started in 2020, I have tried out a handful businesses. I have tried out different projects because I feel I have that freedom. I'm able to explore what I want. And here I am today. What I have and built today has come from the background of having tried out different things, having explored my potential. And I know my potential hasn't yet been fully explored. I'm still learning. I'm still trying out different things and being creative. And I'm happy that in my space, I can wake up any day and say, oh, today I'm stopping this, I'm starting something different without anyone having to question me because I have the freedom to do it. And it really has given me that opportunity to try out different things. Like I said earlier, I'm doing things that I never thought. If most accountants are known to be just in a place of finances and dealing with numbers, but here I am today. I've entered the entrepreneur space, working with different entrepreneurs from different sectors and businesses, and I'm well able to support them. One, supported by my background, because I also worked for different organizations, telecommunication, microfinance sectors. I worked in construction. I worked in organizations that are in, say, fashion, different business, trading, and all that background, consultancy. It gave me an opportunity to build my current experience in terms of understanding different organizations. So even today, as I'm working with different entrepreneurs, I easily understand people's businesses. I easily manage to support them because I had that background and I was able to understand different businesses. And today I'm using that experience to support my existing projects and businesses that I'm running. So it's not an easy decision. I have lots of friends who I keep on encouraging to say, can you take this step and move out? They don't want to do it. But each time they see how I have managed to sustain myself in the past years, they really get motivated. So it's more than 5 years down the line, and I'm still very proud of the decision I made that day. And I'm still working towards making sure that I successfully pursue this journey that I have started. And it's really been a great one. And I must say, the longest saving organization I've worked for is my business. So if you look at my resume, you will see that the company that I've worked for the longest is actually my business. So I'm really enjoying working for myself, and it's a great decision one has to take in life, and it only comes when you really prepare yourself for the journey. You must be ready because a lot of challenges come your way, and you may start asking or questioning yourself to say, was it the right decision? Yes, that day always comes. We always experience it. But the following day you realize, oh, actually, I made this decision for a good cause. So for me, yes, it's an exciting decision made, and I'm proud that I made it at that time. All right.
When I'm listening to you speak, I'm thinking you quit your job at the height of COVID, when people were losing employment, and you said, oh, okay, I will, this is now my time. I am ready to jump out and create my own nest, however that will look like. And I was like, that was when people were losing jobs, Sandra.
Yeah.
Was there a specific thing that triggered you to do it in that exact year? Or was it planned? Like, did you plan to leave the time you left for my employment?
Yeah, that reminds me. I really left at the time when it was at the peak of COVID. Everyone was either working from home, they lost their jobs. There was a lot of things going on. My last job was with Finca, where I was working as financial controller and acting CFO. And in my role, I felt like I was working two jobs because of the pandemic and what happened. At that point, countries like Uganda, Malawi had total lockdown. And I must say, Finca is an international organization which was a subsidiary of Finca International in the US. So what then happened is that most subsidiaries were closed. So for an organization like that, what it meant is that it's like you don't have business units working, you only have one unit working. So Zambia became like the strongest, only surviving subsidiary that was operational at the time. And that put a lot of weight in terms of workload for my end. I felt like I was working two jobs. I was working here in Zambia, having to do my daily tasks. And then secondly, I was then also reporting into the US head office, which is US. And if you look at the time difference, we are in two different time regions. So during the day, I was doing my my local job, and in the night, I had to work and communicate with head office, which was HQ, meaning the night. So I was feeling like I was working two shifts. It was really, I think, too much, but it was a challenge to me that I was willing to take on. And with that, it really opened my eyes in terms of how I would have wanted to handle this crisis, or we would term it a crisis because of the lockdown and everything. You know how it is in the financial world. You're giving out loans and there's a total lockdown. It means people who owe you money can't pay you. And if they can't pay you, then you have a drop in liquidity. You need to make plans and you can't even give out new loans because no business is operating. Few businesses were operating. I think even here in Zambia, it wasn't a total lockdown. We had some businesses that did shut down completely and some were still running. And that really affected in terms of the lending and the clients that we could lend to. So it was a very big crisis. And at that point, there were ways in which head office wanted to handle issues, and there were ways in which I myself thought I wanted to handle the situation. So that conflict as well, I think, really pushed me and really brought something to light to me to say, you know what, this is something that you could have done different if you're in control, you know. So that situation, or that time of me being in this place where I'm having to manage two different stakeholders, demands locally and demands from head office, was really something that built a lot of pressure within me. And from that, I just told myself, once I get out of this situation, I think it was even before COVID had ended, getting into 2021, I said I would still wanted some time off to get out of it and just handle the situation a little bit different, with the way I would have wanted to deal with it. So what then happened is that at the time I was making the move to start my own business. So I immediately got to start a similar business. I started a microfinance organization. It's called LendingScape. So LendingScape was my first baby after the corporate life. I started LendingScape, which is a current microfinance organization or institution that gives out loans. So it's from the lendings that I got from Finca that gave me ideas to set up this new organization. So I had picked up quite a lot of learnings, and I had my own way of doing things that I would have wanted to do. So what I then did was, okay, I'm going to start something on my own. So I went into lending at a point of where there was lots of crisis in the industry. So getting into setting up an organization in microfinance lending in a period when there was COVID and it was difficult to get clients to pay, it was difficult for businesses to thrive. But I had ways in which I wanted to design my product and thought would work. So I then tested it the time I left Finca and started what is called now LendingScape. We started with our new products and we managed to penetrate the market, I must say. The organization, the institutions started operation, and within 6 to 7 months, we managed to break even and get back our investment. And going into the 8th month, we're already looking positive in terms of our profits. And this was because I had these ideas in terms of how I wanted to manage the lending aspect of the solutions that we were providing. So I think it was mainly also driven by the fact that I thought I could offer this as help in terms of the clientele and the community that we're serving, but I couldn't do it while being in employment. And the moment I stepped out, I had that freedom and I was able to try out something. And today, it's one of the flagship products that LendingScape has, and they're using as a product, and it's still making money even post-COVID. So there are certain solutions that some of us may have, or ideas we may have, but you're not able to implement them when you're in employment. But once you step out and try them in your own space, you see they sometimes work. They thrive. They do work well. So for me, I think it was this push that was within me that I needed to go out and try out something. And I went out immediately, tried out something, and I saw it succeed. And with that, I think that's what gave me gave me more motivation to feel that I had made the right decision in terms of stepping out from my former job. So yeah, it was a very difficult time, but yes, I managed to still stand out and be confident in terms of the decision that I had made. I think everyone, even my other family members, were like, this is the wrong time to make this decision. But I'm glad I did. I think even as you go into you're stepping out as an entrepreneur, it's good to step out when it's not really comfortable, because you need that pressure to really test and know whether what you're trying out is something that will work or not. So the pressure, the hardship that was there in terms of the challenges for the sector was really a good base for me to build my foundation. Hope that answers it.
It does. And I like how detailed you are, because then I'm really thinking of, again, my click was you left when it was COVID. And we now know why you left during COVID. And then you got to do the same thing, or relatively similar to what you were doing for the organization you were working for. You penetrate the market in 6 to 8 months. Your income statement now starts showing a positive, and you then continue to still build these other programs that you're working on, like MySCAP Hub. LendingScape is still thriving, but then you still keep working on the other things you're working on. So my first question is, what does it really mean to be an entrepreneur and run your business?
Yeah, what does it mean to be an entrepreneur?
Like, what does it
Okay, so
I know because I have a business, but I
yeah.
feel like it's so hard to explain to other people. Like, I am everything sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, even like you've thrown it back to me and I'm thinking, what does it mean? Okay, so for me, I think being an entrepreneur, I haven't really taken it in the literal sense to say I'm a business person. I have taken my business to be like my former job. The way it was when I was in employment, the same commitment I had to put in the extra hours, wake up in the morning. If there was need for me to work late hours, I must say I'm a workaholic. When I don't have my work done, I can't go to sleep. So the same attitude that I had when I was in employment, I've still kept it consistently, even as an entrepreneur. And I always see myself as an employee of this business, which, yes, I have full control over, but I have tried to see myself as an employee and kept that discipline. So being an entrepreneur for me has been like a new job. You know how it is when you're employed, and you have to prove yourself. You have that 6 months probation, and you have to prove and say you are the right recruitment, that you're the right recruit that the organization made. That's how I always took it. I've always taken it as an entrepreneur. So getting into my business or starting a business as an entrepreneur today, I see them as new job roles, for example, especially when I'm starting or rolling out a new project or product. I will see it like it's a new job that I have been given. And I want to first understand, what am I trying to build? What am I trying to do? What am I delivering? What's my contribution? I really get to the detail of understanding my role in what I'm doing. And it has brought me to a place where I don't really feel like I'm running a business, but I feel like I'm working, right? When I started early in the years as an entrepreneur, I think I was too much an employee. Thankful I went through a program, the Women Creating Wealth program. I then understood that as founders and as business owners, as entrepreneurs, we need not to work in the business, but work on the business. I think when I started in my first year of the program and I heard about this statement about creative systems, processes, and things like that, it was not something easy, because I still felt I needed to be like an employee working in my business and be committed. But with time and having understanding and the support and mentorship I got, I then realized that, actually, I can still be committed and disciplined in terms of working in my business, but still have the opportunity to have the strategic oversight of running a business. Because I think most of entrepreneurs, one problem I see they make is that you get into running your business, you then feel you're the boss. You then have to then start instructing people, and that's what it then means for you to run the business. But there is a stage as an entrepreneur where you really need to understand your business. You need to understand the processes before you can then give your strategic guidance or oversight. I think I would give a good example is that my approach has always been, when I'm rolling out a product or a project, I'm very much heavily involved because I want to understand. I'm understanding because maybe I'm doing it for the very first time and it's not something that I've done. Like, for example, when I started out with LendingScape, yes, I was a director, yes, I was a founder, but I was the first loan officer for that business, for that institution. I was the one who was going to the markets. I was dealing with marketeers. I was the one talking to them, telling them about our loan products and having that experience. So with my experience in terms of being on the ground and understanding the business, when it was in the second, third year, I then started to pull back and allow for the systems and processes that I had set for them to run on their own. It was very easy because I understood what it meant to be a loan officer. I understood what it meant to be a collections person in the institution. I understood what it meant to market and to bring customers. So for me, the journey of being an entrepreneur has been one of much in terms of learning. I've gained quite a lot of experience. I jokingly tell my friends to say, people pay to go and do their master's or PhD, but I choose to invest in businesses and try them out and understand. So I've got that hands-on experience. So my master's is in my daily day-to-day running of my business. Me running the business is my master's. I think if you've seen even on the side of MySCAP, we are always innovating. We are always having these new programs that we're running. And in those programs, it's not that it comes with a handbook. Someone tells you this is how it's done. No, these are programs that are run from the foundation. We build them in terms of setting up the program structure. How will the program look like? Who will be involved? What will we do? We try and test it. We pilot. When it works, we then launch it out. So for me, that whole process of creating programs, creating a product from scratch is a very strong rich experience that I would never exchange for anything. I would really want to experience this over and over again, because that's my master's. So today I sit down not to flag out certificates of having done a master's degree, but I flag out impact reports. I flag out reports that we do from projects that we've done. I'm happy when I communicate to my partners or a client that this is what we rolled out and this is how it's working, or I have a product certificate. For me, that is good. So entrepreneurship for me has just been an extension to the growth of my career. What it has given me is an opportunity to learn in places that I never thought I would learn if I went by my qualification or experience. So it has really been, interesting, I must say, and very challenging at the same time, because as an entrepreneur, it's not easy. You get to wear so many hats within your business as you are trying to learn. So entrepreneurship to me is just, I would call it another position, another role that I really enjoy in terms of exploring and trying out and relating my skills to it. So yes, I think that's how I have managed to thrive through the years and still are enjoying in terms of the different growth that I'm seeing in the journey of being an entrepreneur and running a business. And I must say, entrepreneurship, one other thing that has really helped me be where I am today, is the aspect of collaboration and partnership. When you get into entrepreneurship, I feel we are not supposed to get there with the mindset of being this competitor in the industrial sector. Throughout my years in terms of as an entrepreneur, I've always seen myself as an ecosystem player and looking to say who is within my ecosystem, who can I work with to be able to succeed. As it says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, have someone that you hold hands with, to work with. So this journey has also been easy. My learning has also been easy because I've learned from others. I've worked with others. I'm open to collaborating and working with others. So, and in that, I have really found the joy of being an entrepreneur and running my business. So, yeah, in entrepreneurship is just a big title, which I think scares most of us, but it's an enjoyable journey. Yeah.
I think it's such a fun journey, and listening to you speak, and it really just makes me reflect on some of the decisions I'm making, some of the things I'm doing. And I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because you have to still have the balance of how do you reduce your certain workload to bring more income into the business, but how do you still stay hands-on? It means you have to have done what you're about to delegate. And so that when something goes wrong, you know where they might have gone wrong and how they could fix it, or how you could fix it, and train other people to do it. So I think it's such a joy. I think it's one of my favorite things, is being an entrepreneur, because you question your sanity half of the time, but it's
yes,
but it's like at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, that was fun. I think I kind of think it is. What inspired MySCAP Hub?
Okay. So when I got LendingScape, I think 2 years. My rule is always the 2 years, yeah. After 2 years, I should count my achievements. I should see my success. It's the 2 years. It's the magic number. So after running it for 2 years, 2020, getting 21, 2022, 2022, getting into 2023, I had reached, I think, I was able to see, a product has been created, a company is here, systems are here. I had more than 12 members of staff I was working with, and I felt I had built something that people had learned from and were able to work with. And it was time for me to see how will I evolve from here. So it was a thing of saying, am I looking for another job? No. I'm now an entrepreneur. I'm not looking for a job. So it was a thing of saying, what's the next problem? What are we trying to solve? So the 2 years experience of lending brought certain insights to me. And one of the insights was when I introduced the lending products under LendingScape, it was not just about giving money to people and then paying back. I had the vision of creating impact in their businesses. I wanted to see growth not only for myself, but even for the clients that I was working with. And I realized that most of our clients have a mindset in terms of the way they do things. And in doing things, people just don't wake up the following day and start doing things differently. If you like the clients I was working with were marketeers. Most of those marketeers run their businesses because their mother was running a similar business, because their neighbor runs a similar business and it makes money and they also want to make money. And they had a way of doing things. Marketeers would say, today I'll buy 1 box of tomato. Tomorrow I'll sell it, get my money. Tomorrow again, I'll buy another box. For them, it's continuously like that. And it's something that they were comfortable with. And there I was trying to create impact in their lives. And this impact was not just in me giving them a loan and them being able to buy 2 boxes and not the 1 box of tomato that they were buying previously, but it was trying to help them in terms of how can they develop themselves. So I was looking at the aspect of financial literacy. So how do we give them loans and help them to be financially literate, for them to better plan for their finances and use their money adequately? In doing so, I noticed there was a gap that was there around mindset, around giving them a skills training and the like. And most of these women, when we went out to the market to sell loans, there's no way I can go and stand and say, oh, let's start with training, then you get a loan. It wasn't a story that they would buy. They would just be like, when are you giving us our money? We need the money. So I thought I needed to introduce the training leg, the support leg, the non-financial assistant leg, which came in through MySCAP. So when we had LendingScape, purely financial assistance, financial support. We then developed what is called MySCAP. MySCAP today is the non-financial support of the vision that I have in terms of supporting. My passion is supporting women and youths. So supporting the women and women entrepreneurs as well as the youth entrepreneurs. How do we then support them? So when I started out with MySCAP, I said I will start with the youths, the young ones, the ones who don't yet have a perception, the ones who don't have a way of doing things. They are fresh and they are looking to start, which I thought would make it very easy for me to then introduce things like financial literacy, introduce things like coaching and mentorship, business coaching, employability skills, and things like that to help them be financially independent. But before you speak to them about a financial solution, you then give them the non-financial support, which would come in form of the trainings and mentorship and coaching that we're doing at MySCAP. I remember when I started out, I said, I am looking at the young graduates. I think that's the term I use. These are young graduates from either high school or those who are just completing uni or colleges. And one of my consultant who I was working with, she's late, may her soul rest in peace, Sopelo. She was the founder of Opelo Capital. So she would support me in terms of product development. I spoke to her and I told her, we are not going to focus now only on financial support, but we want to look at the non-financial support, which is in training. And I wanted to work with young graduates. She laughed at me and said, Sandra, are you serious? Those young people don't have money. How will you make money? And if you go to a young graduate and say you're doing consultancy and training, how are you making your money? They will not be willing to pay. So she brought that reality, which is true. Most young graduates don't have money or training. It's impossible to get any market value from them. There are people who are looking for support. So we were at a time where we were discussing revenues, like you talked about. A business should make money. So we were talking about revenues, and she was telling me, this solution that you want to bring, then how will it generate revenue? And why this target? Can we go and look at business houses? Can we look at corporates? But for me, like I said, it was from a place of passion, a place of wanting to offer impact. And my impact in this case was trying to work with those that the young ones who would build a certain mindset and things before they get into business. So I said, look, my solution is not about helping those that are already in business, but the solution is about trying to help them not to make the mistake that those are in business are already making. So how do I then go to businesses that are already maybe thriving or succeeding and are able to pay me? I still need to focus on the young graduates. And hence MySCAP was born with an online academy, which was targeted to young graduates. And we were mainly focusing in terms of mentorship and coaching around business development, as well as employability. So this is where we were offering a solution to grassroots entrepreneurs. So I said, if I needed to plant a seed, I needed to plant it on fresh ground, the ground that is not yet polluted, hasn't been taught in terms of what it wants to believe or have a perception about something. So we then start with them, talk to them about business, talk to them about saving, talk to them about what skills they need to thrive. And once we plant that seed, as they grow, we are then guaranteed to have a community or build an ecosystem of entrepreneurs who will then understand in terms of what they want to achieve or how to run businesses. And it should not just because my parents did this, my sister is doing this, or my neighbor does this, and they don't understand how it's done. So MySCAP was born in 2023 with the vision of supporting women entrepreneurs as well as the youth young graduates. So grassroots entrepreneurs, those at purely idea stage, those who are looking to start out something. Because our vision is of MySCAP is that we are looking to create a platform that helps people make positive contribution to their communities by making sure that they are financially independent. So how do we then help women to be financially independent? So we are saying they're already in business. They can get their loans through LendingScape. They can get support through the cooperative where they are able to save and borrow. And in addition to that, we then offered them a platform where they could network. So within MySCAP, we built platforms for networking. So we've got platforms for women entrepreneurs where they can network, they can talk about the businesses that they're working with, and get contacts within, building ecosystems within themselves. So the women entrepreneurs in this case, then they are supported financially as well as non-financially through our networking groups, through the communities we've created, through the various events that we coordinate. Then comes to the young graduates. The issue is that most of the young graduates, what they're looking for is a job. If today you said, I'm advertising for a job, you get more than 2,000 applications instantly. But if you went and advertised to say, you're looking for people who are looking to step into entrepreneurship through a support program, they will not. You will get maybe 20 or less of application of people interested. So at MySCAP, we are trying to change the mindset of the young graduates for them to understand that job security doesn't only come with you being employed. Remember, the security comes because someone has taken a risk of creating security for you. Why can't you be the one creating that security for others, or create the security for yourself? And that's what is called entrepreneurship. So for me, it was about speaking to them, creating a platform where we can talk about a job, yes, which is employability. But if you can't get a job, what is your next plan? What is your next step? So as MySCAP, that's what we are looking to build. So we interact with a lot of young graduates. We talk to them about jobs. Yes, we offer internship opportunities as well. We offer placement opportunities through our partners. And one key aspect is that the unemployment level in Zambia or in the whole continent is really high. And the current market can't manage to take in all the skills and the talent that we are having. I think we've seen, even you and I are both from Unilas. I'm from the 2015 graduation team. If you look at the group that graduated then and the group that's graduating now, it's huge.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of graduates entering the market, and yet the opportunities are limited. So what will then happen? Should we allow for these young ones to sit on their qualification and wait for that job? No, they have something to give, and they have something that they can use to be financially independent. And that's what MySCAP is looking to build. That's what MySCAP creates, a platform to allow these young graduates with skills, with capabilities, to learn on how they could be financially independent, to learn on how they can be useful within their homes, within their communities. So MySCAP then touches the side of non-financial support. It pushes the agenda of helping those who feel the job, getting employed is the only solution to their success, but it's not. And from 2023, we've had more than 3 cohorts in business development. We've seen businesses being built from what we are doing. I'll give an example. There's this one young girl who joined the business coaching program. She didn't even know what business she wanted to do. I think when I spoke to her, She told me she wanted to do a business in real estate, and I was shocked. Wow, she wants to start buying and selling property. I was like, are you still on money? And the answer was no. But through the training and training of the program, I then discovered that it wasn't anything to do with real estate. It was a mislaid aspiration or not understanding the business world of how things are done. So we supported her, and we then discovered that she's an author. And today she's published her ebooks, she's written out books, and she's supporting even other people who would like to share her story. She is supporting not only herself, but even others who would like to discover their vision, discover their passion, discover their purpose in life. She helps them through her writing, through her articles that she does. And this was built from having been guided and shown to say it's not about you having money in your pocket for you to start out something. It's about making use of the skill that you have today and make money out of it. Try and monetize and commercialize your ideas. So MySCAP was birthed from there, and today we have successfully trained over 4,000 young various programs. We have had partners who've come on board. MTN Zambia Foundation is working with us, and we have now not only spoken about financial literacy, but we're now even speaking about digital literacy, knowing what's happening, that this is a digital economy. Most of the skills that we are selling online or that we can sell online relate to digital skills. And therefore, digital literacy has become a core program or skill that we are teaching the young graduates. Through digital skills, they are able to sell their skills. So we are teaching entrepreneurship, that it's not only about products. Business doesn't mean you having a product and displaying it at the market, then you say, I have a business. No. Entrepreneurship can be in form of a service-based entrepreneurship, where you're offering a service to someone, and that service becomes your revenue that you get to generate and create employment for yourself. So that is the narrative that we are looking to build in the young graduates, in the works that we're doing, and we'll continue to get partners on board who can then support us to make sure that we reach more and more youths out there. I'm happy to say that this year, I think we've managed to reach almost all the 10 provinces of Zambia through our programs. We have done some recruitments, we have done trainings, we are supporting them through internship. I think there's one big other challenge that most of the young graduates are facing is having that entry-level experience. They always ask, have you done some work? Have you done this experience? Have you done this kind of work? And most of them don't have it. So at MySCAP, we have what we call an internship program. This is a virtual program. It allows them to have that first step, 6 months experience. We said, guys, we can't handhold you for more than 6 months because there are lots of youths that we want to give the opportunity to do. So even as I speak, we've just rolled out the program, which is an internship program. We're calling it a career accelerator program. There's a lot of entrepreneurship accelerator programs, but this one is career accelerator program. It's just focusing on helping those graduates who don't have that entry-level experience, and they're able to get it through virtual work. So because of the way MySCAP is set up, we are a social enterprise. Most of our services are close to free and very subsidized by sponsors and partners. That's how we sustain ourselves. So what other model we use in business model is a model of giving back. Most of the mentors that we have, the coaches that we have on the MySCAP platform are doing it voluntarily. They are just supporting us free of charge, looking to support their fellow entrepreneurs as a way or employees who are building themselves. It's a concept of giving back. So what we do is those who are helped, if today I help 10, the 10 will give back to another 10, which makes it 20. And that's how we've been growing our numbers. From the 20, they give back to the next number. And that's how we've been doing it. We've introduced what is called peer leaders. These are those people who've gone through the program. They have learned something, they have something to give, and they are within the ecosystem and they're able to help others. Even the mentors, volunteers we have, entrepreneurs that I have networked with through the programs or activities that I've done in the past. They are willing to give their time. They're willing to work with us and help us be able to offer this assistance. And we are even calling up on partners, corporate partners, who are looking to support these young graduates in terms of them doing their virtual internship. So they then do their virtual internship in roles like, for example, we are doing research. We have roles to do with sales and marketing. We have roles in administration and data collection. We have roles in event management or hosting or moderators. I also noticed most of them have these soft skills of creating content and creating events, either virtual or in person and things like that. So we then train them and support them, give them this skill for them to go out there and be able to offer it as a service. So once they are trained, we then don't throw them and forget about them. We have a community. So we've got the alumni community where we get to interact almost closely, even in new projects. So there's then continuous support, there's continuous learning through the different products that we are offering. So that is MySCAP and the story behind it. So that's our target group.
I like that. It really also does align with the work that I do. And I know what I'm tapping into, by the way. But yeah. I come from my background comes from skills development and career advancement and workforce readiness. I have worked with institutions that have your target audience, and I have seen the gap of how much the young people are not work ready per se, and why career entry jobs are very important. For you, what's very impressive, even from the beginning, was the fact that you were working whilst in uni, and I think that's my story as well. So we already had that entry-level experience that could be part-time, full-time, whilst we're in uni. But then, not that we are rolling out AI a lot in Zambia or Africa, but because of that as well, new entry employment is reducing. And not that people are not hiring, but because of that lack of experience. So we need more organizations that are willing to take on new entry employees, even for 6 months, like you do with the internships, so that they can just get that experience on what work looks like and what a culture is and what is work ethic. Like you need a real test of certain things. Like I can give you a story, I can tell you how it may play out, but only experience is the best teacher in most times. So listening to you speak just really does touch on the work that we do with my company, and love it.
Great. Yeah, and sometimes you take it for granted to say people understand, they know these things. They don't.
Yeah.
They
don't.
Really don't.
Even I didn't know.
It's only when you interact with them, then you realize, oh, this is a gap and it needs to be. And for us, most of our programs and solutions we've done is it's evidence. It's things we've seen, the gaps we've noted, and we keep on building and growing from there. So yeah, there's a lot to learn.
There's always a lot to learn. From your experience with LendingScape and MySCAP, what are the 2 challenges women and young people are facing right now?
Okay, I think starting with the young people, the biggest challenge is, I think, lack of being able to control their ambition. They are very ambitious. Yeah, I know the story of saying, finish school, go to university, and you get that big job. Yeah, it's they're very ambitious and they want to achieve quickly. They want things fast, and that works against them because most of them is before they get to understand something, they think they're already ready and they want to jump to a certain level and feel like they are not meant for that entry level position. For example, I've had engagements, I think, with most young graduates. They've graduated, they've finished school. You're interviewing them for the internship program. They're saying, yes, 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 I can do the work. You put them into the program. You then realize they can't do the work. They can't do the work. And I think this is what's really hurting lots of businesses. Hiring nowadays is the most difficult thing to do, because for you to find that right talent that matches the paperwork, I know there's AI, there are these CV creators, they make our CVs look good. We can speak to the few words that are there. The moment you put them in an office and in front of the table, you find they can't do the work. So I see it as being overambitious and not allowing yourself to understand or to know whether you really understand what you're doing. I think I'll speak to the one challenge I think that I faced in the first cohort. I took them that they are young graduates, they understand and they're able to do the work. I placed them and gave them work to do, and then I discovered they couldn't do the work. And with that, then brought a big challenge in terms of the success of the program, because we couldn't proceed because they didn't understand. They didn't have the basic knowledge of the role, the fundamentals. And hence now I have changed the approach when I'm dealing with them. I really have to take them through what we call assessments to just understand their level of knowledge and capabilities before being assigned to a role. And I think it's the biggest risk that is there for organizations like mine and yourself when you are referring people for employment and they go and work with a partner and they realize what you said on your email or your reference is not what they're able to deliver. It's really something that hurts your reputation. And for that reason, we have said now we are not directly referring people. Yes, they can be employed in the normal recruitment process and the company can take on the risk. But if we're managing a project or having to represent an organization, we need to work with people. We need to test them and see and give them that opportunity to understand that work is not just what they think work is. It's not about just reporting and sitting on a desk. There's more to it. So for me, I think it's a thing of the young people really need to manage their ambition, and they need to be realistic about how they want to do this. Most of them, yes, we're in the world of AI. Most of the tasks, assignments, emails are AI generated. But the question is, do they really understand what they're generating and what they're creating? And for me, I think that is where I really want to work with the young people to help them know, give them a bit of a tip or understand what they are going to face in the real world workforce environment before they get into there. But the biggest challenge, I think, is trying to help them understand their ambition and manage their ambition, plan it properly so that they succeed. I think for the young ones, I think that's the biggest challenge. When it comes to women entrepreneurs, like I said, for women entrepreneurs, they all have a perception of how they want to do things. So when you get into programs like this, it's somehow difficult in terms of the mentoring and coaching process, because they have a way, they have a culture in terms of how they do things, and to try and bring the new thought process is a bit difficult, either in their businesses. I think recently you've seen, or what's happening now, there are lots of programs online, free programs where people can go, women can go and participate and get into the program. But one thing I'm seeing that's lacking from this program is the aspect of them implementing what they are learning. So they then learn, but they do something different within their businesses. So it's where you've been coached, you've been taught, but you're not implementing and you're not doing it. And that is a big challenge when it comes to women entrepreneurs. Yes, it's difficult for you to tell them to say, throw away your belief, throw away the things that you've known and adopt this. No. So it's difficult to put it in that way, but I think what helps them is the continuous support, even post to some of these programs that they are receiving. So I think even with MySCAP, the angle that we are coming at is trying to support them, to tell them that this relationship is not just for today. So like with LendingScape, most of like the women entrepreneurs or clients they would think they'll get a loan today and tomorrow they'll forget about you and they won't need you. But we try and tell them to say, look, this is a relationship that we can both benefit from, even in the long term, in the future to come. You then work with them, be engaged with them, be involved in what they're doing. I know it's a lot of work if your model is transactional, but for us, we keep a relationship-based kind of approach to maintaining our clients and retaining our clients within the community, within our institution, and the ones that get to borrow. So on the both side, in terms of women entrepreneurs, I think, and the young graduates, it's a mindset issue. It's trying to understand the reality and not just assume that the way they assume or think things work the way they would want them to work. So the challenge, I think those are the challenges that I can outrightly spot out from the two that we've worked with, both on LendingScape and the MySCAP project.
And I think I also have spotted them out. I think maybe when it comes to the women entrepreneurs, it's me.
Yeah.
It's very hard to change someone's mindset. And also for somebody that has very briefly worked in the corporate world, I could also say how, yes, ambition can come in the way for when it comes to your learning curve and what you can do. And briefly, I think earlier on when I was just getting into the work that I was doing for an institution, I could see that happen, but I can easily navigate stuff. But listening to you speak, I can see why that could be a challenge when when young people don't acknowledge that we want stuff too quickly. Even I know that I want a lot of stuff too quickly. But again, I have a strategy and I have certain ways I'm running my life and running my business and how I want to picture it out. But yeah, I do believe, and listening to you speak, that could be a challenge, a very big challenge. And yeah, and I'm glad we're talking about it. I wish we could like really break it down, but yeah.
The young ones have this notion when you meet them, say, oh, you're looking for a job, then they say, yes. What job? I can do anything. So for me, it's not about anything. You can't do anything. It doesn't work like that. So that's the ambition, where they feel I'm ready for anything. No, you're not. You definitely have to know, keep to your lane, what you're able to do. Once you bring the anything into the company, you realize there's nothing. So
anything could be nothing.
Yeah,
that's a key thing. Anything could be nothing. Like they didn't. Yeah, I hope you get that joke, but
yeah, true. So there's a lot of work. I think also, and in future we are also looking to then also partner with the learning institutions. Like I said, there's that foundation that people are built with. So if they are taught, I think, quite early. They understand to say, when we're in my generation, my time, we thought, oh, being in society, finishing school is is good. There's that feeling and expectation that comes along, but it's no longer the case. We've seen this even like from professionals like medical doctors. Who knew that medical doctors would they would graduate and not have a job? They would be seated at home. It's really sad. So in the olden days, the medical doctor, when they finished university, they graduate, they're already with an employment, they have a house, they have a car, they had all these things already planned out. But things have now changed. It's no longer the case. You have medical doctors who are going to be cashiers in supermarkets and things like that. Why? It's because they are not prepared for the workforce environment. They are not prepared to the reality. There's a possibility that you won't get a job. If you don't get the job, what is the next plan? What is your plan B? You always have to have that plan B. Yeah.
True. Very important. And I think something that you mentioned is that the employment rate in Zambia is high, but we also have to acknowledge that the employment rate in the world, and specifically also in Africa, is high. And the current employers, because a lot of people would aspire to have these big positions or have a position in a big company, but then we have to also acknowledge that not all of us can work for those big companies, if we're being honest. Like, it's not realistic. Half of the population has to create jobs to give half of the other population, but we need more employers and business owners. We need more employers and business owners than we need people seeking jobs. So I love that MySCAP is creating that mind frame where, like, and I think that's the thing people don't talk about is when I graduated, a lot of people didn't talk about how, in our university, they didn't talk about how you won't find a job.
They won't tell you that reality.
Like that reality. And you come to a space and you're like, okay. And I had those conversations with my friends where I personally didn't struggle a lot. Because I'm skilled in different ways, and I can be a jack of all trades if I want to. But then you can also tell that this person was brilliant.
Yes.
But they still can't find a job, even if it's with one of the best universities in the countries. So just having those conversations and changing the mindset, like you said, fresh ground that's not yet been fertilized or
yeah.
So what advice would you give to a young person that wants to start a business?
Okay, so for those that would want to start a business, I think my advice is don't look far. Don't look for capital. I think most of us, when we're looking to start a business, the first problem is when you're asked, what do you need? We say capital. We're looking for finances. It's not about finances. To start a business is not about finances. I think you've heard from the way I've said MySCAP. MySCAP was not built on the base of finances. No, it was built on offering a solution to a problem. So for me, I think the starting point for young people looking to start a business, they need to look within themselves, identify a problem that exists, and after identifying a problem that exists, look within themselves, what capabilities do they have that can be a solution to that problem. So it's about doing an audit for themselves, like, what am I skillful? What can I do without money? I think for me, that's the one question we reflect on in my mentorship classes is, what can you do without money? Like, what skill do you have? So you reflect and check within yourselves, what can I do today and make money with my skills without having money? So money should not be the starting point. The starting point should be that skill. So for those who are looking to start a business, they shouldn't be looking to say, oh, I want to start selling rice. So who will give me 5,000 kwacha to buy a bag of rice for me to start my business? No, that's the wrong starting point. The starting point should be, what can I do Are you good at landscaping? Are you good at doing hair? Can you recycle within your space? Now there's digital skills. Can you build a system that someone can use? Can you create content and someone can pay for it? That's what we need to look within the skills. And look, most of these young ones have gone through uni, they've gone through college. There's probably something they have learned in university or college that they can then start out as a business as they wait for that job. Like I said, security is created by someone who created that business, meaning they started a business. So if no one is there to create security for you, can you create security for yourself and for you to employ others? So for me, for the young ones, my message is look within yourself. What skills do you have? What can you produce? Once you know what it is, then see how you can monetize that skill and make money for yourself and start your business. So it's not about you going to a financial institution to get a loan. You can get a loan when you now want to build on the business that you've done. The bootstrapping method, I think, is my approach. Growing organically, start somewhere, and then once you have discovered your ground, then you can look to source for support or financial help. That is my encouragement to the young graduates. Studying and graduating is good. Once you graduate, if the job is not there, let's start reflecting on what we have and building something for the future.
I think that's always my advice as well. And I always like to say this, one of the best advices I got when I was in university was from my brother-in-law. And he said, well, we now know you can pass university. When I passed first year, he said, you can now pass. So the next thing is, what type of skill sets do you want? Like for me, if you've ever known me ever since I was a child, I said I would be rich and I would own a business. So conversations with people around me were always centered, okay, if you want to own a business, what business would you want to own? And what type of skill sets do you need to own a business? And you can only get those skill sets sometimes when you work for an individual out of experience. So yeah, I think there are no jobs, to be honest. There are jobs for somebody that runs a company. There are jobs, but I think that if you're still in university, try to see how you can get more skills. And if you are done and graduated and haven't found a job, start where you are, like Sandra said, and ask yourself, where can I start from? And what skill sets do I have? Do I do a laundry business? Do I do something that gives you capital? And that's if you're not coming from a privileged place where you can ask for capital and they can give you. But I think there's also that thing that comes from saving your own money and starting your own thing and asking someone to top up. I've always found that method working more for me when I needed to start something with my own money. So yeah. Sandra, I'd like to ask you to ask me a question.
Yeah. Okay.
You're laughing. I'm scared.
I didn't. Yeah. Okay. So, you have said that yeah, you can do 99 jobs, right? You're very skillful. Yeah. So
99 jobs?
99 jobs. So I want
Maybe.
to ask in terms of what motivates you? What gives you that courage to think you can face any challenge and you can take it on and do it without looking out for someone to employ you? You just mentioned now you're running your business full time as well, right? So where do you get these ideas from? I'm sure the young ones will want to also learn something. Like where do I start from? Where do you start from?
I think firstly I'll answer, where do I get my courage from? If you asked me this question 2 years ago, I think it would be very different with how I would answer it now. But I really come from a very good family, I have to admit. And sometimes when you think of a very good family, you'd think money-wise only. But my family is amazing. And I like to joke around to say I've not been the most easy child to raise, and I was raised by a community. Not the most easy child to raise because I really have my own brain and like to use it, like everybody should. Anyway, so I get the courage from the fact that I like how my family speaks to me now, and they see the work that I do. They never understood what I was doing and the decisions I made earlier on after graduating, and even when I was in uni. I don't want to practice accounting. I love that I graduated with a degree in accounting, but I didn't want to practice it, so I refused every opportunity that was given to me. And then I just told myself I will explore my options, get paid less. So they just accepted that. I don't think it was easy conversations. I had a lot of long conversations with parties that are highly involved in my life till now, and about how they thought I was irresponsible, how they thought that I was throwing my life away. I could have a great career by 25 if I started when they wanted me to start. But then either way, they were I could still fall back on them, not even just financially, just even the emotional support of what I was doing, which a lot of people didn't know exactly what I was doing. I think now everybody has an idea of what I am doing, but even then I was very guarded about what I wanted to do with my life. So my family is very supportive and everything. So there's also that part for me, and I'm very grateful for it. What motivates me is my nephew, my son. Now everything I do, I think of, if I would have to take responsibility for this child, like full responsibility, I have to feed him, I have to take him to school, pay for his school. Can I afford it? I think about it all the time. I do pay partial of his school stuff, and he's on an allowance and everything. But that's always on the back of my mind. If anything would happen, he's my late sister's son, so he's my baby, and I'm always thinking about that. And I think even my younger sister, she has a uni fund already. He doesn't. So I'm always trying to balance between their day-to-day expenses with my income and their future expenses with the type of university I would like to take them or where they would like to go. Can we afford it? So that motivates me highly. I think about that a lot. Every single day, even today, I was getting a few stuff for my son Dan. His name is Ethan, and I'm getting so emotional. And I was thinking, ish, this boy, he always wants something. And also, it's so motivating to have somebody look up to you and just be like, you know what, Mami Aka will get it down. He literally says that to people. He's like, oh, you people don't want to get that for me. Cool. And he'll just call me one time when we were catching up. He's like, we catch up because he likes video games and everything. And I told him, I'm no longer buying you video games. I'm tired for the year. But he goes like, okay, great. Now that we're not buying video games, I need this for school. I need that spoiled. I need that bought for. And then I'm like, I can't believe this child really thinks of me that high. And he really knows that I will look for that money and I will get it done. I get so emotional. And I think my elder sister and I used to talk about him a lot, talk about the school to take him. And I listen to him speak. He highly reminds me of her. And I met him when he was an hour old. So he's literally my baby. My family by him motivates me so much because he wants to be a pilot, and it means Mami Aka needs to afford flight school in 10 years. So employment won't do that. But so yeah, that's what highly motivates me, my family and my baby. Then where you can get ideas if you want to start your own venture, or if you just want to explore your options like I did, I think work for an organization, right? make time to volunteer for an organization or just work as an intern or volunteer for a small company that you might be interested in what they're doing. So my first thing that I did was I volunteered for a person and a company that was in finance. And that gives you a very different perspective of what the business is doing or the certain gaps. So a company is there to just sometimes fill in a specific gap, but there's still going to be a gap in the value chain. So working for them gives you a first-hand experience of, okay, that's a gap, and if that company keeps experiencing that gap, it means it's an opportunity for you to fill it in with your company or with your services. So that's what I did. I volunteered and worked for different organizations, and it always reaffirms the gap I'm trying to fill it in, but it also teaches me how differently I can fill in that gap and how I can, because sometimes you don't really need the whole space, the whole world. You just need to find your niche and sit on it and work to making it better. And somebody else will come and work for you and be like, oh, there's a niche in that, or there's a gap in that. I would like to fill it in as well. So work for somebody. I think, yeah, it's the best advice I can give somebody is work for somebody for a year or two, work for different organizations if you can. And if that works, if that is for you, then find your niche. If you don't want to be an employee, find your niche and then keep working on it, but then find ways to maybe volunteer to gain more experience and insight at different points of views. Yeah, I hope that's helpful.
Yeah, it is. I think it really echoes what we also discussed about. Most of these young graduates, you see there are 1,000 of them applying and they all expect to get a job, but there's that room to volunteer, and even volunteering very soon will be not there. I won't be present because having volunteers, hey, it's work.
It's so much work, ne?
Yes. So you'll find different
works.
opportunities to volunteer not there.
I think volunteership will only work, I think, in my company after a year or two. Volunteership will only work if we have somebody managing the volunteers.
Yes.
I wouldn't want to. Like if I'm paying somebody to manage that sector of the business, because we like volunteers, you could learn so much from us, but I would like somebody else to manage that experience, and then they can still work with us, but I'm not the direct person you're working with because it's so involving, and I wouldn't want to take away from the core business of what we're doing, but we always want to give back. So yeah, if it still exists.
It still exists. That's right. Interesting. You can
Sandra,
talk about.
My last question to you is, what do you look forward to?
That's too general, yeah. Okay.
I like it general because then you could pick anything.
Yes. I think, okay, I would say 2026, yeah. What I'm looking forward to for 2026 is basically I have a target. We had a target early in the year. We have a target of reaching 10,000 young graduates through MySCAP. So I am really looking forward to reaching this target before the end of the year. And in reaching this target, it means that for us to be able to reach the 10,000 through our program would have really touched and changed some lives and the mindset in terms of how they perceive or plan for their careers going forward. So 2026, I'm really looking forward to us achieving this 10,000 target goal. And I know it's not possible for us to do it by ourselves. I'm looking forward to partnering with more organizations that will help us to achieve this goal by 2026 December. So I'm counting down. Where half the year is done. We're in the second half, and looking forward to us meeting this challenge by the end of the year.
Thank you so much. I look forward to learning more about your work and see how we could partner up. I know there's a discussion after this. But
Definitely.
listening to you speak, Sandra, is such an inspiration. I again see you from afar and near. We have done similar programs, and again, that moment when we met a few months ago was like, oh my goodness, it's Sandra. Yeah, I have seen Sandra somewhere, guys. Like Sandra, and I always love watching you win. Because again, for a young person that I am and an entrepreneur, I'm like, the more of us win and are getting in these spaces, it means it gets to be easier, or the road is not as rough as it would be for the people opening the doors. So thank you so much for your service. Thank you so much for what you do for young people. As a young person, I know I started early, but my work shows me firsthand the gaps that's there, and just having more companies filling that gap is what we need. So thank you so much, Sandra. It's such a pleasure hosting you.
Thank you, Aka, and thanks for the invitation and bringing me to this new challenge, my first podcast.
And for everybody listening, I hope you enjoyed this conversation. It was such an in-depth conversation, and we hope you get to share it with a friend who you think will highly benefit from it, and talk about it. Follow Sandra's work online, LendingScape, MySCAP, so you could actually find opportunities to help you grow your business or your career. From us, that is bye for now.